Good morning, everybody. I'm already having my disagreements with the Alexa device as I come on. There is a few things going on. Anyway, let me do the pop out first. And then we'll get into some videos and some clips really quick. All right. I got the pop out ready. Let's go to Rumble. And hello to those on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok, so I can talk normal. Having a problem with the freaking post office. Oh my gosh, I was on hold for like an hour. Insane. Really, it's insane. Good morning, Ashkan and Petro. Good morning. Or good afternoon where you guys are. Or good evening. Hold on. And hello, Ada. I hope I'm saying everybody's name right, because that bothers me, actually. Okay, why isn't Rumble live? There it goes. All right, a few things. Netanyahu this morning, we'll start with that, but there were explosions. Maybe we should start with the explosions videos. Now, I'm just getting this. This is what's going on. This is trending. This is all over the place, okay? A fire is ongoing at a power plant in Tehran. And there's a couple of videos. I downloaded them. We really don't need the sound. We really don't. So allegedly this happened in Tehran earlier. See that? And this is from a different angle, I believe, unless it plays the same video. Hold on. So there's that. I believe it's the same video. Let me just click it again. Yeah, it's the same video. But this one, I believe, is different. I mean, they're saying it was a fire, but it was saying that it happened near a power plant. Okay? So that's the clip that's coming in. Some type of fire in Tehran. No idea. Then there was this. I cannot confirm this. Okay? I have flight radar open in a second. It's in the background. Allegedly, someone took this video. Explosion heard near IRGC's largest naval base in Iran, in the Persian Gulf. Now, I don't know. I don't know the credibility of this, but this is trending right now too, this video. And I don't really see much, but it's near their largest naval base. I don't know. Okay? But that's the video that came in. That's that. Then, Netanyahu. Now, this is the video of Netanyahu, but I'm going to read what this is he's saying here because it's not translated. So I'm going to put this up. I'm heading out now to the United States for my 7th trip to meet with President Trump since he was elected for his 2nd term. This, of course, does not include his unforgettable visit to Israel and his speech to the Knesset. I believe these things reflect the unique closeness and the extraordinary relationship we have with the United States and personally between me and the President and between the State of Israel and the United States, something unprecedented in our history. On this trip, we will discuss a series of issues. Gaza, the region, but of course, first and foremost, the negotiations with Iran. We know that. That is on the top priority. I will present the President with our positions regarding the principles of the negotiations, the important principles, and in my view, they are important not only for Israel, but for everyone in the world who wants peace and security in the Middle East. I said that as fast as I could. So, yeah, he's on his way. I tried to track it on flight radar, but no luck. So, it looks like Netanyahu, and it's about a 12-hour trip from Tel Aviv to D.C. Alexa, how long of it a plane trip from Tel Aviv to Washington, D.C.?
Searching. A direct flight from Tel Aviv to Washington, D.C. typically takes around 12 hours and 15 minutes. That's quite a journey.
Alexa, thank you. Stop. So that was posted how long ago? 5 hours ago. So he's on his way. Now, you may not believe he's on the plane or whatever. It looks like he is really going to Washington, D.C. to meet. Tusi's live in 5 minutes? Am I seeing that right? What? Oh, in 50 minutes. Oh. I was going to say in 5 minutes. I just got on. So, let me get the pop out for this because, like I said, there's stuff going on. I don't know what's going on, but the pop out doesn't seem to want to work. In 59 minutes? So an hour. All right. So that seems to be like the latest what's going on, other than the rhetoric and speculation, because we could be here all day with that. But it looks like there was some type of an explosion, fire, in Tehran. And there's reports of an explosion in their largest naval base. Who knows? Let me see. Iran naval base explosion. It's probably near the Strait of Hormuz. Well, the Chinese have oh, this is bad. And I don't know. China support, it says here. The Chinese are stepping up intelligence support to Iran. The Ocean Number 1 is likely monitoring all movements of the United States Navy ships and submarines and passing the information to Iran. I said that. I've been saying that. They're passing intelligence. But an increasingly bold move, the Chinese are photographing U.S. bases and making the photos public. And this time they photographed a newly installed THAAD battery and posted the images with location data online. Many people, including me, see this as a sign that the Chinese will not hesitate to provide full support to Iran, which appears to have turned the Chinese after realizing the Russian ties with Israel were limiting the desired support. Today alone, multiple Iranian facilities were hit by explosions, bringing the total to more than 10 successful sabotage operations against the Iranian government in just the last 10 days. And this is all opinion, that's this person. Yes, I'm raising the hypothesis that the Chinese are giving Iran something similar to what they gave Pakistan in the last conflict with India, even though they denied it. The Chinese support obviously goes beyond radars, which they know were easy targets last June. Those flights from China to Iran in the last 2 months, sometimes multiple times a day, didn't have the capacity to carry anti-aircraft batteries, but they certainly had the capacity to carry a lot of integration equipment, including for ground Beidou stations. So, look at this shit. We need to do something soon. I mean, they're putting out satellite imagery of the systems on our bases. The president has to step in and say, this is national security here. That is not good. That is not good. And I knew it. You knew the Chinese were going to give them intel. Of course they are. They're playing the game. And you see the same thing coming, the propaganda. I'm not going to show it. Not going to show it. Because there's a lot of propaganda out there. And here's what they were talking about yesterday. About covering the tunnels at Isfahan. New satellite imagery shows activity at Iran's Isfahan nuclear facility. Entrance to the tunnels have been covered and sealed with dirt, possibly to protect the site from airstrikes or a raid. Because we've been hearing about the possibility of raids. Well, they covered them. They buried it. And this is also a problem when you delay. You allow them to do what they need to do on their end. That is a problem. That's obvious. That's a fucking problem. It just gives them more time too. Not just us more time. It gives them more time too. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I gotta check out if Netanyahu did post that because there's a lot of. I am not buying that. I am not buying that. That he reposted that. Netanyahu. I doubt it. There's so much fake stuff. It is insane how much fake stuff is out there. No, he didn't repost that. Where did he repost that? Lie. Lie. They're trying to say that Netanyahu reposted a video, but he may have done it on this. Let me check. They're saying it was on TikTok. Really? Really? On TikTok? Let me tell you, TikTok is weird. It's really a lot of bullshit, to be honest. All right, let me follow Benjamin Netanyahu on TikTok. Let me see if he posted a video. Videos. Latest. I don't think so. There's a lot of fake stuff out there. It's scary. He did not repost that video. Because I'm looking at his page right now. Let's see, reposts. Oh, shit. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So this is, I don't know if I should show it, but this is Netanyahu's TikTok. He reposted this. He really did. This video. That's obviously the Iranian naval vessels and their shitty old planes, which had no chance. They may not even be able to take off. He did repost it on TikTok. So that was a true report. He reposted this. It says he reposted it. It's on his account. Reposted. I don't know if this is the video that Tusi referred to. I'm not sure. Yesterday? Well, Netanyahu definitely reposted it because it's on his TikTok. Unless somebody got to it. And I hope you guys can read that. It's small, I know. we're looping. But he did repost that. Right here. This is his account. So that is true. Maybe he's watching Tusi. I don't know. Oh my gosh. For some reason, and don't ask me why, my pop-out chat is not working. I'm going to try again. I could see the chats, but they're squishy on my OBS. And Tusi is live, upcoming at 1 p.m. my time, so like in 35 minutes. I'll put the title of his show coming up. And you know I'm getting off. I haven't eaten. I always wait for Tusi to eat, both breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's true. Let's see. IRG forces panic in Iran. Several explosions in Iran. U.S. deploys F-22 fighter jets to Middle East. I just showed you about the explosions. This one. And that was the different angle right there. So Tusi's going to be on it. Like he always is. It doesn't surprise me. Because that's Tusi. So that'll be coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern. And you can see a lot of people. And yes, I'll just put it because I am a member. I did it live. Good morning. Oh, maybe I'm on a different account. I don't know. Oh, no, yeah. I think I'm signed into the... Yeah, there you go. I'm in green. As a member. I support Tusi. Anyway. So it was true on TikTok. Hey, sometimes news... But you got to see how you have to do the research and see if it's true, credible, because there's a lot of stuff out there. You can't trust anything. You have to verify. And a lot of people, there are a lot of people out there, like Tusi does sometimes during the beginning of the show. He talks about the clickbait, fake news, like misinformation. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. But just so for those who may have just got here, these are those videos. You're going to see them later on Tusi. For sure. But I grabbed a bunch of them. So there's that one. What's up? I'm live. I'll just let you know really quick. They're sending it back. The issue was that the forward expired. You can resend it back the same way, and it'll go to the PO box. There was a
cost me another fucking $15.
Yes, they said they can't stop it because the computer in the system will automatically reject it and return it to sender. It happened to the bishop.
Jesus goddamn! How many
Last
days
week.
did they give you to come get it?
There is no come get it. What happens is the system says the forward expired. In other words, my physical address to the PO box. So I had to pay for a year. I had to pay.
Why is there a forward at all?
That's what I said. Why can't they just deliver it to my physical address? So the post office.
That's where it was fucking sent to.
Here's the problem. And this happened about 2 years ago. I wrote to my House and Congress and all that. They investigated. What they did is they shut down a lot of the local post office's carrier ability to deliver mail locally from the carriers in those local post offices. What they did to save money, the post office, is they created a distribution center where all the carriers deliver from there, and it became an absolute mess. An absolute mess. It really, and so many people like me complain because my congressman told me, you're not the only one. Everybody's complaining about this. So this is part of the insanity that I got to deal with the post office. That's when anybody sends me something, send it UPS, FedEx, don't use the post office. But now I kind of fixed it, even though I had to pay. And I'm live, so that's just a quick story. So keep an eye for your thing getting back, and then you're going to have to resend it. And you can send it back the same way because everything's going to be forwarded to the P.O. box now. That makes sense? I know it sucks, but how do you think I felt? I was so upset. But I didn't take it out on the representative. I explained, and he helped me fix the issue.
Fucking Margie's gonna have to get her goddamn checkbook out, man, because I ain't fucking paying goddamn $30
Anyway, let me run. I'm live. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, man.
Bye. Post office here is a wreck. That's what happens when you live in rural. Anyway, getting back. So here's another video. This is what Tusi's definitely going to report on. And this is allegedly what happened in Tehran earlier. And Netanyahu is on the way. I already showed that. So we'll see. I think time is of the essence here. Either we're going to do this or we're not going to do this. I mean, it's really getting cray-cray. And, you know, how many times can we say it? He's waiting to get all the assets in the region, another carrier group or two, whatever. There's more C5s coming in. There's more stuff coming in constant on flight radar. It's just a constant flow. It's really an ebb and flow because it goes both ways, and it's constant. But there's got to come a time a decision either has to be made here. Negotiations are bullshit. We all know that. It's not going anywhere. It's a delay tactic for whatever reason. Probably preparation. But, I mean, and I know it takes months usually to prepare for something like this. You have to give the United States military a lot of credit for getting these assets into position so quickly, because usually it would take a lot longer. That's the reality. Okay, I'm looking at chat now. Yes, I just showed the videos. Another gas leak, right? Yeah, another gas leak. Good luck. You spotted BB's plane? It's X. Okay, let's check what you're saying here. It is XA001. Am I seeing that right? I mean, it has to be to the west by 5 hours. Oh, it's already over the water. Holy. He's on the move. Wow. He's almost halfway across the Atlantic. BB. Thank you. Who put that in there? Was that Dan? Yeah, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for doing that. Great catch. Great catch. So he's halfway. On his way. So that's about another... Shit, to get to DC, that could be another 6 hours. So he should be there by 6 p.m. tonight. I'm going to... Because it's going to be interesting if, as he's coming off the plane, they're probably going to get him right into a beast-type vehicle, escort him to wherever the consulate, wherever he's staying, and then for the meeting tomorrow with the president. Tomorrow's going to be really, I'm telling you, tomorrow's very important moving forward. I'm not trying to exaggerate. Tomorrow is a big moment here in the United States with this meeting. 11 a.m. in the morning? Is that confirmed, Tammy? My volume's pretty high. You want me to turn it up higher? I'll turn it up higher. Let me look what you guys are writing, because I missed quite a bit. What's going on here? Okay, I caught up. Let's see. 11 a.m. How long before? About a half hour before Tusi. He took off at 12:30 local time, 5:30 your time, but that's a.m. It takes about 12 hours to get from Tel Aviv to DC, the flight. So he'll be there by like 5:30, 6 p.m. My time, Eastern. We also had a dogfight with Chinese jets and Taiwanese jets. The Chinese jets use flares? Really? Acting like military doesn't know. It's bait. Makes more sense now that we have such a large deployment. If last time Israel alone handled Iran, maybe there is more than we know. China, for example. Excellent points. What's up, Camper? John, everybody in chat. Yeah, it is ridiculous to filter out to try to get to credible sourcing, and because I hate that. Don't you all hate that when they say anonymous or sources or officials? Who the hell are they? How do they know they're not just coming up with that? I would like when they say that because they don't want to give out their sources. But that drives me nuts when they say that. Sources confirm, or sources say, or officials from the such and such. It's annoying. Iranian first has no chance. They have no chance. They had no chance in the 12 day after what? 24 hours? 12 hours? 24? Go back to 30 minutes. Watch how many planes and how many drills happen. I believe it was on 2C, the one with that BB shared, reposted. That's right, Friday the 13th. That is, but remember what tomorrow is, 47th year anniversary of the Islamic Revolution. It could come quickly. That's an interesting point though, Ulysses. That's a really interesting point. Friday the 13th, that same thing. That is crazy. Just remind me when Tusi's 15 minutes out, because I got to go make breakfast and go sit down and have breakfast with Tusi. I'm not joking when I say that. Increase my audio volume here. How's this? Let's get it up close. I hate the mic in front of my face, but we'll do it. Yeah, I do. Eugene, I just saw your comment. That's why I pulled it up. The reason was last night I was hanging out, listening to music, and I was singing, and I don't want to be heard, and I forgot I had the mic that far. Last night it was an apple juice night. Okay. Let's see. But Eugene is right. Anonymous sources say, are you right? Doesn't it drive you crazy? Thank you, Eugene, though. I'm still a little recovery mode from apple juice night. Too much information. Anyway, so yeah, there's Netanyahu coming to the States. There's been a lot of C5s, a lot of activity still going on. A lot. I got to remember that. Keep an eye on that. I'm sure Tusi will get on that when he goes live. I mean, they just keep coming. Another super galaxy. And this one is probably either going. Okay, that is that the right one? No. Another super galaxy heading back. They just keep coming back and forth. It's unbelievable how much assets are coming into the area. Look at all this. They are really building up. Something is amiss. Something is coming. How could you build up like this and not do anything? I mean, peace through strength posture. Well, this is overwhelming, to say the least. A Poseidon. It's a lot of these. These are training planes. You see them all the time. They got the Poseidon up, so. Another C-17. Yeah, leaving. It's just constant. What is that? A helicopter. Or maybe not. Yeah, it's a Black Hawk. The UK is busy. That's the C5 coming in. They got their Voyager leaving now. This could be their drone. Yeah, they've got a drone out there. I just want to confirm that was the C5 coming in, right? I believe so. Super Galaxy. Yep. Big boy. That's the one that's leaving. Italy's got a lot of activity going on. Where are the French? Where are the French? Not to be found. Seriously. This might be a clipper. Oh, it's another C-17 going to Spain. Or leaving, actually. The altitude is low. It's leaving Spain. Let's check out Germany. Jesus. A Poseidon? They brought another Poseidon in? They sure did. This is heading back to the States. A C-17 is heading back. It's incredible, the amount of traffic. It really is. Okay, that's the super galaxy we were looking at. And this is the super galaxy leaving. Yeah. I mean, they are continually building up. It's actually remarkable. Okay, that's Netanyahu. That just took off, but that's probably going to stay. So, yeah, this is interesting how it just keeps building up. And Netanyahu's here. And thank you to, what was it, Dan? Yeah, right? Maybe they're in their fancy submarines. France is like, I don't get it. I mean, I think they need new leadership in a lot of these EU countries. Sitting as an American, maybe they do. Time for change. They're so worried about the internal, but how did that happen? Whose fault is that? This is like the meeting. Because I don't think there's going to be another trip from Netanyahu to the White House anytime soon. This is the one where things are going to be final. This is it. This is where we stand. Where do you stand? What are you planning to do? You know, and they're going to keep that tight-lipped. They're not going to, you know, I expect very little tomorrow coming out after they're done with their meeting and maybe making a couple of statements. I don't know. Let me ask all of you before we go watch Tusi. Do you think tomorrow, after they're done with their meeting and they come out, because I think they will come out, maybe the president focuses more on the Gaza peace plan and Netanyahu makes his comments, but do you think that they're going to take questions from the press afterwards? Yes or no? I just want a simple yes or no. Do you think maybe they'll take a couple? I don't think they're going to discuss anything. I think they just might walk off the stage after saying the few words, make their statements, and then walk off and just ignore the press. No? I know they always do, Jason. I know they always do. I know. But in this situation, and there are a few people saying yes, And that's another thing what Rob just said is important to keep in mind. After meeting, things will get serious. Answers from the press, no. All right, so let's just say 70% of you say no. That's I would say that's a good summary of guesstimate. But what Rob says, we have to think about that. If there's a major attack and Bibi would be in the White House Situation Room and bunker. But what if Iran decides to do something while he's here in Washington? On the anniversary, the 47th anniversary. Because tomorrow is the 47th anniversary for the Islamic Revolution. And Bibi's not home. I mean, there's a lot to consider here, right? That's okay, you put the caps. I think it's today. Everybody think it will be after the meeting. I mean, that could be. I mean, everybody's bringing up some really great points. Please keep me posted about Tusi going live. Give me a 15-minute warning. They could do a joint conference. I can imagine that something happens tonight and then they make a joint announcement together from the White House. Wow. You're all bringing up great points. He might be able to ignore the press but cannot resist the cameras. Again, you think they're going to discuss any details, specifics about what they discussed about Iran in public? One thing about President Trump, he keeps things like very close. And he keeps it in a very close circle because he doesn't want leaks. And I totally get that. And I'm sure many of you do that as well. You think they're going to reveal anything? Of course not. It's strategic. 20 minutes till Tusi already? Oh my gosh. So I'm not expecting much. I am going to watch, and I'm definitely going to be interested to see the before, the after. I don't expect anything from when he lands and taking questions on the tarmac. I do not expect that. He's going to be whisked away right away. I don't expect anything like that. But you know the press is going to be hounding, knowing what the situation is. They're going to be hounding to try to get information. So, I guess, yeah, Tusi's in at 1, so it's like in 17 minutes. Let's see, they are high profile in the Middle East and everyone is scheduled to leave by Friday. I don't see start until Bibi's home. Absolutely not. But you never know. Another high profiles, at least in air and out of Middle East. I mean, we're all guessing, speculating. We just don't know. All I know is, and he's going to lay it out directly to the president. He's going to lay it out. And he wants to know what the United States plan is as far as these negotiations with a terrorist regime that you know it's going to go nowhere. And he's going to say, listen, Mr. President, we've discussed this already a few weeks ago, right here, about their ballistic missile program. Are you intending to bring this up during the negotiations? Is this off the table? And if so, if that's the case, I have to protect the people of Israel. That is my duty. And if you're not going to take action, we might have to do it ourselves. And then you got to wonder, what does the president respond? Wait, Bibi, wait. Maybe that could be a telling thing too. If he doesn't do anything, what did the president say to him? That could indicate that something is coming. You could read between the lines all day long. But I don't think Israel's going to wait around too much longer. I mean, they're building, 300 missiles a month. They're upgrading, updating. You hear all the rhetoric coming out. Something's got to give sooner rather than later, in my opinion. Sooner rather than later, something's got to give. In my opinion. I don't think they have a disagreement. This is just for show. You could be right. This is all part of it. You're right. Absolutely. You can see across the Strait of Gibraltar, so we know when it enters the Mediterranean. Are you talking about another carrier group? Let me ask you this question. What if they came through the Indian Ocean, and you think they would take the risk of going past Yemen and going through the Red Sea to take the shortcut to the Med instead of coming through the Strait? If it was coming from the Pacific. It's anyone's guess. Unless it was going to join up. 14 minutes. Oh my gosh. So fast. So who knows? It's all speculation. But tomorrow is really important. Yeah, they turn their transponders off and on. That's why you can watch this. You really can't read too much into this. You can just see the overall traffic, what's going on. You get an idea of how much logistical support is coming into the region. It's back and forth. You see it, C-5s, C-17s. You see the drone up, patrolling the Persian Gulf and the Poseidon. You know, you see all these assets. But like I always say, it's that flight traffic, civilian, that could be the indicator once they start to divert. And then you'll see whatever, see like this. See how they're all coming in from the north from Turkey? And there's still a few coming up. But when you start to see whatever's in the airspace get out on either side, and you start to see a gap opening, that means they're not going in there anymore. Whatever's over the area has to get the heck out. You'll see the gap start to grow. And that's when the traffic stops. And then you'll see the diversions. East to west, west to east, top and bottom. Then that's when you start to realize, oh my gosh, something might be going down. Then you'll see the Iranian planes. You'll see airspace indication that it might be closing. Tel Aviv, Iraq, Jordan, the whole thing. The only thing that is going to be interesting to see is how would Saudi Arabia, because the base is right there, Riyadh, or one of the bases that we use. Where are these planes going to go if they close their airspace? They're going to have to go way down to the south and then come up and around. Again, these are little indicators that you could put attention to. It's just something to keep in mind. 14 minutes. I think air traffic will clear out everywhere in the region. Yes. Jason, absolutely. Because they threatened the bases. The bases are all over the place. They got to clear the airspace. They threatened to attack the bases. They're all over the area. So you would think the entire area is going to clear out. And the civilian airspace, the flight paths, you will see them divert and change. And you're going to be like, whoa. Then you know something's about to go down. Anyway, it's 2C time. Let's see what, I'll put it up on the screen just for those who may be coming, because I'm going to go make my breakfast really fast and go watch 2C. That's why I'm talking quick, because there's like 10 minutes left. Yes, as we mentioned earlier about the explosions, it is 2C time. And like I joke around, but it's serious. Breakfast with 2C, lunch with 2C, dinner with 2C. That's what I do. I go on my big TV, watch them. No chat. It's just, his show. And several explosions in Iran. U.S. deploy F-22 fighter jets to Middle East. We heard about that yesterday. I am a member. I don't know why it's telling me that on the bottom. So anyway. Have a great rest of your afternoon. And good morning to Arash. And I just want to show the banner. I'm making a post. It won't be here till next week. But the solidarity is important too. Solidarity is important. Global support is important. But the solidarity between Israelis and Iranians, to me, is very important. Because peace at last, like the song I wrote, but this right here, I made this yesterday. And I'm making this to a poster that's going to be right behind me here. And do you know how many people do not like this as a future possibility? There's a lot of people out there that don't want to see that happen. Including a lot of the Arab countries. They don't want that. Anyway, I'm going to get off. Have a great afternoon, everyone, evening. Go watch Tusi, like I am, and I'm going to have breakfast. So God bless you all. Be well, be blessed, be safe. See you all later. Tusi.